Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video right here on Solana. We're going to do a full update on Solana. I saw some interesting things in general, not specifically for Solana, although there is some interesting price action going on the lower time frames as well. This is the daily time frame, so there's not much you're seeing right here, but don't worry, we'll zoom in a bit. But I also wanted to specifically talk about the Solana ecosystem. I think there's actually opportunities there, and I think that's even more important to talk about. I think there's I think there's much more opportunity there, to be fair, than with Solana, because Solana, and we spoke about this 2 days ago, Solana has broken back down into this range right here between, let's say, 190. This is rounding it off, but still 190 and $120. We've fallen back into that range with quite a lot of confidence, I'd say. So the chance at a massive rally for Solana is pretty low right now. There's no momentum if you take a look at the volume. There's no momentum if you take a look at the open interest that suggests that we can break out of this range. But for the ecosystem, there are opportunities, right? Especially also with the Solana ETF coming out, with some remarks that the SEC made about liquid staking are some things I think you need to know about. But for now, let's zoom in a little bit on Solana. Like I said, we have fallen down into the previous range, where the top of the range is around 180, 190. So that does mean we have some imbalances to the upside, and we're actually gaining some momentum right here. And you can also see, if you take a look at this spaghetti chart, that Solana is doing quite well, right? I mean, Solana, Jupiter, Jito, those are all Solana ecosystem projects, which we'll also get into in a moment. Those are all doing quite well, right? So there's definitely some strength here for Solana. But given the fact that the volume is quite low, there's quite a lot of open interest coming in. Like, I do think it's most likely here, because it's also in line with what the general market seems to be doing, right? So that helps. That's extra confluence. But I do think it's quite likely that Solana is going to be able to test those imbalances to the upside, up towards 175. Maybe if we get some good news with it, up to 180. So that is short term what I do expect on Solana. But then, like I said at the start of the video, then we get to that level at 180 and 190, and then we have to pose ourselves the question, can we actually break out of a resistance level that strong? And at this point of time, I would say no, right? So from there, I also do expect, maybe stability, maybe a rejection. We'll see when we actually get there, because it will depend on the initial reaction, it will depend on the fundamentals, it will depend on the news, etc. But short term, I would say this is most likely on Solana. Right, this, which is pretty good short term, but on the higher time frames, and when we're talking about really big moves, it's not much. It's not much activity, but that's also not something I think you should expect when we're trading in August. But then when we take a look at the ecosystem, like I said, today we already saw outperformance of Jupiter and Jito. I think there's opportunity, all right? Especially if you take a look at Jito. I mean, Jito is an amazing project. It's one of the biggest projects on Solana. It might actually be able to facilitate staking for the Solana ETF, who knows? Or at least historically, we've seen momentum because of it. And it's trading at the bottom of the range. I think that's a little bit wicked, right? For the lack of a better word. So I think there's an opportunity here. At this point of time, I've set the price alert at the value area low at 1.8. I do need to see some, fundamentally, I think there's plenty of reasons to be slightly optimistic about that. I do need to see some technical confirmation as well. And Jupiter is a bit of a strange coin as well. It's also at the bottom of the range, but this I'm a little bit less interested in. But you could take a look at something like Pyth, right? Pyth network is also great, also Solana based, and that looks pretty good. So that's what I think. That's at least what I wanted to tell you for today on Solana. Hopefully it helps, but for now, those are my thoughts. So I'll keep you updated on this. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.